Welcome back, folks. We are finally going to attempt to finish up the tutorial area of Dragon's Dogma 2. So, let me get right into it and go to where I know a couple of Seeker's tokens are, among another golden beetle or two. Just have to stay focused this time and not get too lost in the sauce, you know? As wonderful and fun as the game is, it's very, very easy to do so. But this episode, I think, I want to talk about some of the flaws of the game. And I've said it before to other people. I don't think that it is a perfect game whatsoever. I don't think any game truly exists out there that is. And for me, this hits a lot of areas that I enjoy. But for some people, there is still some discourse over such things such as pay to win or fast travel, which honestly, that was blown out of proportion greatly. I understand that Itsuno said if the world is interesting, you shouldn't need fast travel. And then people saw that they were selling a port crystal and assumed you had to buy it to actually have fast travel, which is not true whatsoever. But there is the fact that there's a little bit of monetization, and that sits sour with people, especially for a single player game. I am not going to argue that. And we also have the issue of each vocation only having 4 skills instead of some having more than that in the original game, upwards of 6. However, I don't think it's too much of an issue, even though you will typically pick and choose the absolute strongest skills every time. And yeah, it's a bummer that you can't use as many skills as you want, especially when you do unlock Warfare. I do think that is the biggest takeaway. You have Vocation that can essentially combine every single one in the game, and you're still locked to 3 skills. It's not fun. It kind of sucks, and there's a reason that there are mods for that, truthfully. But I still think that they did a relatively good job balancing the vocations this time. Even though some definitely stand much, much farther ahead than others. Once you get into the combat flow, though, they all have their role. Albeit, some excel significantly more than others, such as Thief still being insanely strong in comparison to many other things, and Archer as well. Funny that they split Strider into 2 vocations and it's still very, very potent. But I do think that the lack of skills and lack of skill rings too, something that was very well received from the DLC, is very much a bit odd that instead of building upon it, we did definitely go back to what some people call just Dragon's Dogma 1 redone, and in a way I can see that. That's what Itsuno liked. He enjoyed the exploration aspect, like it feeling as a tabletop RPG, although not played with friends. I know I have told people many times that the game doesn't necessarily need co-op, and it would certainly add a strain on the game if it was not built around it. But I won't deny, the way the combat is and everything is focused, it would have benefited from some sort of co-op. Not mandatory, not something that, is forced upon you, but maybe an endgame dungeon or something that you could play for friends, or maybe jumping in as their pawn to try and keep it from being too potent. But what do I know? Oh, stop with that horn. Ooh, I missed. And I do think that the story is presented very poorly. A lot of it is more in context than it is presented to the player. And a lot of people don't care to read things, and they don't care to go back through the quest log and say, oh, yeah, that actually adds some context. Most people kind of don't care, truthfully. Oh, this is gonna go bad. Oh, no. Use waking powder that I got. Okay. I'm wondering where my other pawn went. I immediately went back to sleep. That's actually hilarious. Oh my goodness. Harpies. But I really don't think that the story is as weak as many people seem to clamor that it is. It could have definitely used improvements, there is no denying that. And performance, I'll be honest, when the game came out, I had a 5800X3D, a 3080. I was very, very lucky on my native resolution to get even 24 frames per second at times in towns. And even in the field, it was barely cracking 60. They have improved on this, don't get me wrong, but it still has tainted the game. It's still got its instances and certain areas where it just friggin' tanks the performance for no good reason. Whether it's loading too many AI nodes at once or something, I don't know, but I feel like the RE engine was not meant for open world games, because we see similar things happen in Wilds. But maybe if Capcom fixes performance in Wilds, they'll revisit Dragon's Dogma 2. Or will continue to feel like they have abandoned it completely. There's that cyclops that always spawns. Let's see if we can fight him with just 2. This might be a while. Nope, nope, nope. And it's sad because I waited for this game for a long time, and seeing the sales data that we now have 4 million sales when the original game could barely crack 1 million. I'm talking the original printing, not Dark Arisen. It's kind of sad to see that it feels like they've given up on it. We had such a great game series with wonderful combat and, especially in this game, stupid moments that you can't account for. Oh no. Okay. My pawn putting in work for me. Okay. That's dangerous. These early game large monster fights are always wonderful. Now you might be asking why I'm not climbing the Cyclops. Well, realistically, I don't think I have the proper skills to use when it's this early in the game. I don't have my gouge skill yet. I don't have anything else that I might need. Alright, you've sped up a little bit. Oh, I forgot you do that when you're enraged. Oh, I can't see. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, I made a mistake. This is gonna cost me. Oof. Ooh boy. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a cyclops use that skill. There we go. Slam him into a tree in the most awkward way possible. What in the hell? I missed my timing on that stagger. That's a shame. Come on now. Try and sit on me again. Oh, I love the stupid things in this game. Alright. Now that we've beaten up on this poor cyclops, let's go get our next golden beetle. Alright, now that I'm not intently focusing on fighting a cyclops, which is kind of funny to me, early game. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of things that the game could have done better. Story being one of them, vocation balance, and skills being another one. But what's done is done, unfortunately. And of course there is yet another golden beetle, not too far off from where we just got one. Right here.
As your pack becomes heavier,
and
so too does your
I can only hope that Capcom is actually working on a DLC for this game, but I really don't have my hopes up. I waited a very long time for this sequel to come out, and I very much enjoyed the exploration aspect of this significantly more than the first one. There's much more to do.
We should
It
be able
just
to move this boulder without
unfortunately feels
confining it.
like
I'd wager there's ought to be found here.
it was another case of being rushed. And a factor I think some people may not be accounting for is this game started development in 2019. And before I forget, Seeker's Token right here at the top of this hill.
Now here's a surprise.
And it started production and then went into development. And right at the beginning of 2020, we got hit with a freaking worldwide pandemic. And Japan kind of had very strict regulations when that happened, which definitely seemed to have hampered development of games. Monster Hunter Rise being one where people were very, very upset with it, and they did eventually come around and fix
It's
it.
generally used as a
But
material.
it's no excuse to bash this game either, because a lot of people seem to forget that aspect because of what Rise ended up becoming. Whereas here, well, hang on. Mid-rant, there's a quest.
Gran, I want to learn magic, please.
This again, child. You know full well your father has forbidden it. There are plenty of things more deserving of your interest. Why not turn your aspirations elsewhere?
Why must you always take father's side? I'd have thought you'd understand how I feel better than anyone.
Alright, continuing my mid-rant. It just seems like Monster Hunter gets a pass, and don't get me wrong, I've been playing Monster Hunter for, well, since the original game. But this game didn't get a pass for whatever reason. There seemed to be a campaign to do everything to dissuade people from playing it, and part of me feels like it's because instead of Monster Hunter coming out for its 20th anniversary, we got Dragon's Dogma 2, and people were not happy with that. And you know what? I get it. But the game definitely seems like they wanted to do much more with it, but because of the pandemic and potentially even the C-suite, it never truly reached its fully realized potential. I mean, there are entire notes missing from this game. There are things that just feel like the pace is all off. As soon as you get to Beetle from Vernworth, my goodness, the game just goes, and suddenly it's over. And I really understand why people don't like that. It's kind of strange that it's done that way.
What is it? If you're looking for Gran, she's out. 'Tis dreadful dull round here. How long do they mean to shut me away? All I want is to study magic, but Gran refuses to teach me. If only I had a grimoire or two, then I could study on my own. If you find any grimoires, would you bring them to me? You needn't seek them out. Any you happen to find will do. Still, I'll write up a list of the tomes I'd most like, so you know which ones to keep an eye out for. Let's see. There. All done. Mayhap I was a little overeager, but you needn't bring them all. Just 2 or 3 would be swell. Though I would be thrilled to have the lot. Oh, and Gran is like to confiscate the grimoires should she espy them. Pray hand them to me when she's not at home.
So, we are to scour for the grimoires on Miss Trish's list.
This quest is one I will definitely be tackling later. There is a good bit to it, and it is shared with another quest that we can acquire a little later on. But yeah, I feel like the game is definitely disliked for far too many reasons, and there are some valid ones. Another one that I have missed in my rant was the enemy variety. It's pretty dang low, by all accounts. I'm not even gonna sit here and deny that. The amount of unique enemies is a bit too low for what this is. You're mostly fighting wolves and goblins. Well, really, there's a couple archetypes. You have wolves, goblins, saurians, harpies. Then you have your large monsters, which is going to be your Minotaur as a new monster, your Cyclops, your Golems, your Griffins, and I don't know,
Dare I say it? We trounced our
I
foe
really do
well and
wish
truly.
that there was a bit more enemy variety and that perhaps the enemies stayed stronger for a little bit longer than they do. As soon as I get to Beetle in this playthrough, I'm going to feel like most things can't really fight back, and it's a sad reality. Oh, I can't forget the slimes and oozes, but
We're unlikely to find any warm hearths down
they really
here.
don't present too much of a threat. Speaking of them, they are weak to magic, not to physical damage. Oh, choppers. Ooh, choppers. This early in the game? Oh, crap. I'm not gonna fish for perfect blocks. I'm gonna try and stay alive. Okay, as I was saying, enemy variety could have been so much better, but unfortunately we got what we got. I kind of wonder if they were planning to add more and just ran out of time or couldn't get things to work. I mean, Hydras aren't in this game, which were a wonderful enemy in the original, but what can you do, I suppose? Alright, Pawn, I need you to deal with that. I can't do anything to it. Okay. You know, I think slimes actually don't have anything that their stuff is used for outside of oil or lanterns. And I was like selling off their slime for early game money. But yeah, enemy variety, skill quantity, very valid complaints,
Danger might
and
lurk anywhere.
kind of
Where every shadow.
the more I play it, the
Line the
more
ceiling.
I realize I just use the skills that typically are optimal rather than trying out all of them. And that is an unfortunate consequence of the decision to only give the player 4 skills. 3 skills if you're playing Warfare. But, man oh man, is the combat still friggin' fun.
See you be drenched. Dry off
Pawn,
as
get
soon as
out of
you
there.
can.
Pawn. Oh, alright.
Master, I only hope I did not disappoint.
You kinda did disappoint me there. Let's be honest. Any more explosive barrels I can borrow? Yeah. But my favorite aspects of the game are the exploration and the combat. Combat is still Dragon's Dogma combat. It's solid. You have your flashy moments, your awesome encounters. I mean, heck, we just had that chopper encounter where I launched it with shield bash, it came back around, hit the other chopper and killed it. And let's be honest, that was kind of funny, at least to me. I didn't necessarily laugh about it because I only just now registered what happened, but you get some ridiculous encounters, and
Slimes, there!
you also get, especially later on, a lot of easy ones. It's at its core a power fantasy game, and my pawn might kill themselves again here by not running. No, I'm just gonna wear this one and give that to the pawn. Can you attack it? Thank you. There are definitely some satisfying ragdoll moments, at least for me, but it's the sense of wonder, especially the first time playing this, that I very much enjoyed. 240 Seekers tokens to find. I know that's not up everyone's alley. I kind of enjoy it, but I know there's a slime somewhere around here. There you are. And we did some damage to that chopper. Although I will say some of the caves in this game are very disappointing as well. There are some where you walk in, that's the entirety of the cave, and you're done. They could have expanded on that a little more. I think, realistically, there are probably two that I truly enjoy. One being the Waterfall Cave, the other being going to the Volcanic Isle.
Reward. Frustrating.
Let's see. Favored flower. Is that not a... Oh, that is mage. Heck yeah. A lot of people say that the equipment progression in this game isn't the best. I do feel you can get away without buying, at least until Beetle. There's plenty of loot to find in Vernworth, and it feels like Beetle was a bit of an afterthought, truthfully. Just from the gameplay and the dungeons in general. It's a shame. It really is. Because Vernworth, everything flows together so nicely, at least for me. Vermund, I should say. Vernworth is the town. And it just seems to really fall apart in that second half of the game. I've come to admit that. The first half of the game, and the more time you spend in Vermund, the more enjoyable it is, at least my personal preference and opinion. And then Beetle just feels very uninspired. The majority of the quests there are side quests more than the main story, and if you're not careful, you'll essentially finish it. And I'm trying to think, it's 1, 2, it's like 4 quests from getting there. It makes absolutely no sense. But I suppose they expected everyone to try and find every side quest, despite being counterintuitive. Alright, we have another Seeker's token after going up through the mountain's secret cave. You'll find it here up at the abandoned dwelling. I'm sorry to ramble so much on this episode. I enjoy this game. I enjoy the beauty of it all. The encampment down there. The exploration. I just feel that it was criticized for things that were both valid and invalid. Microtransaction campaign being one of the invalid complaints. A valid complaint being the game feeling a bit too easy at times, the lack of content, and, well, I don't know how I feel about the lack of content. Let me step back on that. I feel like there's an appropriate amount of content if it is sought out. If you are only following the main quest, there is not enough content. What is in the encampment that they're running? What the hell was that? And
I've wedge to spare if you're looking for
it's not really a fair mix for most players. Where most people are probably just going to focus on the main quest and they're going to miss out on a lot. And it's just not necessarily fair to them.
And if you'd like to do come again.
And the game kind of wants you to either do a single playthrough or to follow through and do multiple to try and find what you missed. And
if you're looking for lodgings, and if
I don't know. They could have balanced it a little better. Again, sorry to rant so much. I just
vocation, always a pleasure.
I've a knack for gathering
Whoa.
items, and
please don't do that.
I've got wares of every ilk.
Ring of Accrual, Explorers, Modest,
Hope to see you again here.
We'll rest until the morning, I suppose.
I've wedge to spare if you're looking for lodgings.
We must rest, though the...
So, I do have one quest I can... Hello?
'Twas intriguing. Good morrow, everyone.
I've wedge to spare if you're looking for lodgings, and if you'd like.
Gouging Skewer, I love that skill. Let's just get those for right now. Old celerity.
To change your vocation, come see me. Always a pleasure.
Alright. Focusing aside. The grand journey of the game is definitely my favorite aspect, though. I like taking my time. I know some people hate how long it takes to travel the world, and how arduous it is without fast travel, but I do think that's also a bit of a misconception, considering once you get to Vernworth, you have an ox cart that'll bring you back to Melve, an ox cart that'll take you to the border checkpoint, and
Well done, Master.
you have a ox cart that'll take you from the border checkpoint to Batal. The only place you really can't go from there is the random rock. It's the volcanic isle, and it makes sense. But you also have a port crystal in Harv, you have a port crystal in Vernworth, you have a port crystal in Batal, which I will point out was not there in the initial stages of the game. That was only added in a later patch. You can, if I remember correctly, get 5 port crystals, 5 or 6 on your first playthrough.
Battle is to be
So you'll
avoided.
have 8 port crystals you can use with fairy stones. And every subsequent playthrough you can get 1 additional port crystal. It would take 4 more to get the maximum of 10, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? It was a design choice. Which actually kind of leads me to something. Some of you may know, I speedrun Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I actually enjoy doing that. And a big part of it is you can set your port crystals up in advance in a playthrough, and it will stay there for every new game cycle. In this game, understandably, you can't do that. But it's kind of annoying when you want to play through again and you have to go around, place all of your port crystals again, go to the points and visit them again. Yes, you'll have access to more fairy stones, but that's one thing I wish that they, honest to God, would change. I very much miss that from the original game. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have to actually do that side quest that I know is in Melve. I can come back for it. But I feel like I should kind of just knock it out of the way. It is a 100% playthrough after all. Might as well take care of everything that we can as soon as we can. Even though sometimes I prefer to organize it a little bit. So let's go get this next one real quick. Probably get myself the better fighter armor. Actually, let's see what Dudley has.
I've a selection of wares that
Jail key, fulminous shield. This is one of the tomes that you need for Trisha. I'm not going to buy it now. I'll be able to come back and get it later. Nothing that I want.
If there is aught you wish to know of it, very well. There is, but I shan't take up any.
I'm actually very curious if I gave him flowers, if I'd be able to get the Maester skill already. Let me see if I can combine.
Here, I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both.
I don't have the items for it. Okay.
But always a pleasure.
Anyway, let's get this quest done and knocked out of the way.
Is that you, Norbert? Oh, fie. I got my hopes up for naught. Wait, listen. Would you be willing to search for my brother? The brave fool said he was going to look for herbs and went off into the forest. I've seen no sign of him since. I'd go and search for him myself, only... it is a dangerous place. Understand? I'm not afraid of monsters. Which would hardly help anything if I were to run in there unprepared and get myself hurt now, would it? So I thought, mayhap you'd go in my place. You look like you could manage those woods better than I. Please, sir. I worry for my brother. Many thanks. Right. As for where I think he's gone, go into the forest and turn when you reach the tree with the bird's nest, keeping the cliff to your right. Ah, this won't work, will it? I could see the route in my mind's eye, but my feet know it better than I do. I don't think I could plot it on a map, and it's hard to describe, but my brother and I are the only ones who use that path to my knowledge. I suppose there's only one thing for it. I'll have to show you the way. Just be alert. The monsters of the forest have changed since the dragon's attack. I'll need you to watch over me, keep me safe. You will, won't you? Right. In we go, then. My life's in your hands, friend.
I do like how most of these early quests still serve as a bit of a tutorial for the player. I am going to have to go over this wall to avoid... Oh. You don't run unless I'm following you? Well, sorry, Grieger.
First and foremost, my thanks. Are you ready to... Very well.
Sorry, buddy. I had to skip through your dialogue. I'm sorry. But, yeah, I love how game definitely acts as, well, the first entire area acts as a major tutorial, and can be a bit of a slog for older players and newer players alike. I do think, you know, I ranted a lot earlier. One of my biggest gripes, and there is a mod to fix it, mind you, is NPCs have so much unique pieces of clothing and gear that the player doesn't get access to. And I find that a baffling choice. I mean, I get it. Would have taken a lot more development time. There are some pieces of gear that some of the NPCs have I just kind of wish we had access to by default. And I feel like they could have gotten away with maybe 10 more sets, but what do I know?
This is a good spot. Let's stop here a moment. I've camped here with my brother many a time. No doubt he caught his breath here before moving on, same as us.
So the game tries to teach you about camping here. I've already done it because I'm a bit stubborn. And now we just continue following our friend here and trying to find his brother. But yeah, definitely some unique gear I wish that we had access to. Did... You know what? Yeah, that body hit the other one mid-jump. Okay. This game never ceases to amaze.
One might confidently call that a resounding victory.
No goblins there this time, heck yeah.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
Can anyone hear me? Please! I need help!
Norbert, are you hurt?
Whoa, 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 I got grabbed instead of him? What the hell? Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. This is very bad.
Yes, master. I shall hasten to your aid.
Stupid wolves. I had never seen that happen, though. A wolf can grab you instead of someone else if you get in front of the hitbox.
I'd thought I was done for.
Ah, it was a near thing. How are you feeling?
I think I'll be all right. But if you hadn't come for me, Thanks, Ian.
Save your thanks, Norbert. I'm your brother. And I ought to have come sooner.
From where I'm standing, all that matters is that you made it in time. Anyway, I'm eager to be rid of this place. Let's return to the village, shall we? The sooner the better. I've got to deliver these medicinal herbs to the people who need them.
Ah, you'll hear no complaints from me. Let's be off then.
'Tis our duty to protect our charge from harm.
Goodness, goodness. See, that's one thing I love. You learn something new very often, or encounter things you may not have. Like, that's twice I have had a goblin body hit another goblin and cause something a bit humorous to happen. That's the first time where I have gotten in front of a wolf as it went to grab someone knocked down, and instead I was the one grabbed. Kind of made me panic a bit because I was not expecting it, and that very much could have made me had to reload the freaking game, but hey, Unique encounters like that are wonderful. And I freaking love it, man. I truly do. I think
Goodness.
the only
Higher
game
up than
that
I'd thought.
offers the same things that this does to me is Outward, which I still haven't finished. I'm not gonna lie there. Need to go back and take care of that at some point. But pretty soon we will have every single Seeker's token. I do believe I am missing one golden beetle from this area. And truthfully, I kind of don't remember where it is, but I'm sure if I do overlook it, I'll come back for it. After all, I want to make sure I get every single one. Though we are about to head on towards Vernworth, so I'm probably going to cut this into 2 parts. One being a rant here, and finishing up the acquisition of side quests and Seeker's tokens, and the next one being the journey to Vernworth.
Back at last. That was an ordeal.
Aye, I'm exhausted, but I can rest after I've delivered these herbs. I'll be back soon.
Good on you. Just take care, all right? You wonder why I don't follow him? So long as he stays away from that forest, he'll be fine on his own. When my brother told me he was going to fetch those herbs, I refused to join him. Said it was too dangerous. What with the monsters acting strangely of late. And I was right. But mayhap none of this would have happened had I only gone with him. My brother is always the one taking the initiative, while I stand around with my hands in my pockets. But today's misadventure showed me that the path forward is the one with fewer regrets. Even when you can't be sure where it leads. We managed to save Norbert, and perhaps that's all that matters. Still, I can't help but wonder if I couldn't have spared him some of the pain and fear he suffered. If I'd only steeled myself sooner. So from now on, I'm going to trust in my own instincts. Ne'er again will I let fear stop me from doing what I know to be right.
With Sir Norbert safely returned, Melve shan't lack for medicinal herbs. 2 good deeds in one, you might say.
Okay, let me go get that last. I do kind of like that homespun. Let me go get the last Seeker's token that I am aware of, so bear with me here, folks. Because there should be 11 total in this beginning area.
I knew that I could count upon your strength, Arisen.
Alright. Let's, see if I remember something here. I believe there is a chest down here. Usually when there's a path, there's something within it. Not always, but... I know there's one along the pathway. Just can't remember if there's one up top as well.
We've got goblins!
I'll be there in a second, Pawn. I'm sorry. Oh, you've got that. Have to get around some harpies here, and then we'll be golden. Oof. Come on down. Join your friend. Alright, hopefully we don't aggro the goblins. I aggroed something. Alright.
Obstacle blocks out. Perhaps we might remove it by force.
Yep. Oof. Did not time that well.
The enemy has called reinforcements. It seems they need to match our might. The numbers. Let my magic strike with elemental. You're in fine form today, Arisen.
Okay. Let's not. Back to breaking down this wall. Well, boulder.
Yon statue makes for a fine landmark.
Just barely tapped him. Okay. These jaspers will be important later on. If only to either upgrade some gear or sell it. I do love how these statues are of the first sovereign. Something we will get to a little later. Anyway, let's go down and get Seeker's Token number 11. Another Rift Stone for some more Rift Crystals, and maybe a couple items or two. Alright, and this should be number 11. Just have to go through that little passageway and come up to this hill.
Now here's a surprise.
Let's find that ladder again. There it is.
One Wakestone shard is a mere rock, but combined they can work miracles.
carefully conserve my strength.
Oh, look, a
and endeavor to
sorcerer that I
survive
can get for free already? Nah. That might feel like a little overkill. Alright. We'll go back towards Melve, and I do believe that I will be calling it here for this episode. I do once again apologize for ranting for so long. I just very much enjoy this game, and it is a shame that it doesn't see the luxury of other games where people will accept it for what it is. And I do have to admit, once again, it's not a perfect game. It's a flawed game. I painfully would say it's definitely a 7.5 out of 10 for me. And I waited a long time for it, and I very much enjoyed it. But for now, I want to thank you again for joining me on this journey to get 100% completion on Dragon's Dogma 2. We're going to continue on to Vernworth in the next one, so for now, take care, and I'll see you later.